Hey my loves! The weather outside is finally heating up, which means we need some refreshing drinks to cool us down. That's why I've created 5 2-ingredient healthy fruit slushies that are really easy to make, but super, super delicious. Just before we get to those fruity, frosty treats, I wanted to let you guys know I have a ton of great summer recipes coming for you on the channel. But if there are any great summer ideas you'd like to see, be sure to leave them in the comment section below because I always find your ideas super inspiring. And of course, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single one. Now let's get started with our first fruity slushie. It is a true celebration of the best flavors of summer, strawberries and basil. So good. I am going to get started by adding my fruit to the base of my blender near the blades. That helps things mix up really nicely. And then I'm just gonna add a couple basil leaves. Basil is so abundant at this time of year. It's just so fresh, it smells incredible, and it's so beautifully complemented by the tartness and sweetness of these strawberries. Next, I am going to add some ice and give it all a blend. Now, in fairness, I will admit my blender sometimes struggles with the ice. You don't have to worry about this if you have one of those fancy dancy blenders, but if you have just a regular blender like me, you can go ahead and add your ice in 2 parts. I find that really helps things blend up a little more smoothly. Now, I know I have reached the perfect slushy consistency when I see that little cyclone form inside my blender. That is always an exciting sign. All you need to do is pour it into a glass and just decide whether you're gonna enjoy it with a spoon or with a straw. Next, if you like pina colada, you're gonna love this slushie. We are basically combining some chunks of pineapple with just a splash or 2 of coconut milk and some ice in our blender, and blend. And what you end up with is this awesome frosty drink that'll make you feel like you've been transported to the islands. And if you want to go ahead and add just a splash of coconut rum in there, not to worry, I wouldn't judge you. Next up, I've got an incredibly refreshing blueberry lemon fruit slushie. This is the perfect drink to enjoy when blueberries are out in abundance. And then I'm going to be adding the zest of a lemon and a little bit of juice for good measure. If your blueberries are nice and sweet, then they'll be able to stand up to the tartness. And then we are going to add half ice and blend. It's sweet and sour and just happens to be really, really great for you. What is not to love about that? Next up, I've got an incredibly flavorful spiced mango slushie. We're going to add our mango to our blender like so. And then we are also going to add some jalapeno. Now, of course, a lot of you have probably noticed I absolutely love the combination of mango and jalapeno. It's one of my favorites. You'll see it repeated again in a lot of different recipes on the channel. Use your discretion when deciding how much or how little jalapeno to add to this blender, because obviously a little goes a long way. I'm also going to add my ice and give it all a blend. Now, mango, if it's not ripe enough, can tend to be a little bit sour, so go ahead and add some agave or some honey to this if you want to make it a little bit on the sweeter side. That sweet, sour, and spicy flavor combination is absolutely incredible. Finally, on today's fruit slushie extravaganza, we are making a watermelon mint slushie. Now in this case, instead of using actual ice, I've just frozen my watermelon because it itself has a ton of water in it. Obviously, that's why it's called watermelon. So it doesn't really need the extra ice. So we're just gonna use our frozen watermelon chunks. I've let them thaw for a few minutes just to help my blender get through them, but otherwise, it's really just as simple as that. I'm also going to add a few lovely mint leaves. You can use as little or as much as you like, and blend it all up. Super delicious, super refreshing. It's basically like summer in a glass. I really hope you'll give it a try. Now, if you're a fan of any of these flavor combinations, I also recommend trying these as popsicles. They all work just as well. You just have to pour them into a popsicle mold and let them freeze completely. And then you have a totally different frozen treat, also perfect for summer. Slushies or popsicles. Speaking of popsicles, I happen to have a ton of great popsicle recipes on the channel, so if you haven't seen those, I highly recommend you take a look at these videos. My loves, I hope you adore these flavor combinations as much as I do and that you'll give them a try. Also, if you have any great flavor combinations that you're a fan of, leave those in the comment section below because I always find your comments really inspiring. If you give any of these ideas a try, be sure to tweet me, Instagram me, or Snapchat me a photo because you know I love seeing your creations. And finally, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe because there is lots more summer deliciousness where this came from. I really hope that you can hear me because the slander's too loud. But if you can, I'm so sorry. I promise I won't sing in any other video.